Hi, hello, and welcome back. I am Nicole, and this is my reaction channel. Today, we are going to watch Doctor Who season number 1, episode number 10, the second part of a two-parter, of which we have seen the first part last week. And what can I say? Well, I am so sorry. I am really, really sorry for what I have done last week. While I was recording, I already had some kind of bad feeling. When I watched the IMDb rating for the episode, I had an even worse feeling. But when I started to edit the episode and take a look at what I have really said in the last episode, I had the worst feeling of all. I felt so bad because I didn't really appreciate the episode for what it was. And I didn't really appreciate, sometimes there's characters in shows that you cannot stand. That happens. Unfortunately, that happens, but if a show has many characters, and this show does have so many characters because each episode we meet like 5 new people, and sometimes there is one that you just cannot stand. But, and I don't know if in the YouTube version, in the shorter cut version, this is really visible for you guys. I was really pissed off by this one guy, of whom I don't even remember his name. And I'm so sorry for that I did point it out that much. All of you know that I like to watch reactions of other YouTubers, of other shows. And there's one thing that I really don't like in other reactors. And that's whenever there's a character that they don't like, they mention this over and over again. And while I'm watching, I'm like, well, okay, I get it. You don't like this character, but you don't have to repeat yourself over and over again. I don't like this when I watch other reactors. And I did the same last week, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm really sorry. It's now 3 days later. I am in a lucky position, other than I have thought 3 days ago, that I can actually record another video before tomorrow, because today is Friday, before I'm going to upload the first part tomorrow. So I haven't read any of your comments yet because the video is not there yet. I don't know how pissed you are at me. If you are, you're absolutely, I understand it, I get it. I would have like kind of the same feeling if I had seen that episode. I was pissed at myself while editing it. And I really don't want these reactions to be a place like that. I really don't want to. If I cannot stand a character, I should be allowed to say that. But once I said it, it's done. All of you know that I don't like the character, and there is no need at no place in the reaction. There's no need to get so angry at a character that I start to insult him. And that's what slipped out of my mouth in the last episode. And I really regret that I did that. I really do. I was thinking about this like the whole 3 days. I was thinking about this over and over again, and I don't want to make reactions like that. Don't want to be that person. I want to be a positive person. I want to point out positive stuff, and I do want to point out negative stuff too, but not in that way like I did last episode. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Maybe you think this is like some kind of overreaction because you didn't really pick it up that way. If that's if it's like that, that's okay, and that's actually a good thing. But I myself feel so bad that I have to point those kind of things out before starting the next episode, because otherwise I wouldn't feel comfortable with myself doing this next reaction. I promise that I'll get better over time, and I'm just a human and I do make mistakes. This was a mistake last week, and I hope that you can forgive me for all of the negativity that I put into the last reaction, at least in parts of them. That brings me to the next topic that I want to talk about. This is about the episode itself. And I really don't know what triggered that kind of reaction that I had last week. I mean, I was feeling a little sick. I didn't feel quite well for 2 to 3 days. I was tired all the time, and maybe it wasn't the best I did force myself to record that video. Maybe this is also a lesson that I have to learn. And I was thinking while editing the video that maybe this was one of the reasons that I also said in the end that I didn't like the first part. But, listen to me, but I thought very much about this. I was thinking left and right, and I was writing down my thoughts so that I could form some kind of opinion about the reason why I came to the conclusion to not liking the episode. And I do have some points that I want to talk about before we get into the second part. The episode last week, the whole premise of the episode last week, the whole story, and also the overall look of the episode itself was really, really dark and melancholic. Depressing, kind of. And I know that this is what the episode should feel like, but somehow the depressed theme of the episode got to me so much so that I felt kind of depressed too. If you know what I mean, it's difficult to explain. Maybe you get what I am saying. And I didn't really like, or I wasn't in the mood for an episode that depressing, which is my own fault because I pressed record. I'm the only one to blame. If I start to watch an episode and it's depressing, it's depressing. I have to deal with that. It's not the show's fault that it did that, but somehow it just didn't meet my actual mood in that moment. That's one point why maybe this episode really didn't feel right for me. And then there was the other part with that man. I'm really sorry, I can't remember. I'm so bad with names. This is something that I don't do on purpose. Maybe I should just start writing down names because I just cannot remember them. But the man that was with Rose, that one soldier with the spaceship, in the first scene that we see him, he is watching Rose hanging from this rope in the sky, and the first thing he notices about her is not that maybe she's in danger or anything, but he notices that her butt looks nice. And that's something that I really cannot stand. And that's what triggered my emotions in a way that made them escalate them more and more in a bad way. And then there were the next scenes where he's standing so close to her and also starting to touch her. And in that one scene, he's pulling her to his body to grab. He grabs her and tries to hold her tight so that she cannot go away. And that's also another thing that I really didn't like seeing in that moment. I'm so protective over Rose. I really do like the Doctor and Rose. I love those two. And I want her to be happy. And I don't want her to have a guy who only plays with her or who just wants to be with her because she looks good or something like that. I mean, she liked it. She obviously was kind of flattered by his compliments or by the stuff that he was saying, and she's also a grown person who can take care of herself. But that's another thing that didn't really stick with me in the right way, because she's an intelligent person and I don't think that it fits her character that well, that the first man that's making her compliments, she's like not looking behind the facade of the person, but just being flattered. And as we got to know her for now, she's a very intelligent character, and this just didn't stick right with me. It just didn't make any sense that she was behaving like a 12-year-old girl, and there is that man who is obviously pushing in a wrong direction, and she's even liking it. So this was another topic that I didn't really like in that episode, which made me enjoy it even a little bit less. I mean, I have to repeat this. The episode was not bad. I never said that the episode was not bad. I said it was a good episode. But after the last episodes that we have seen, that were really, really good, and I really, really liked them, this, for me, I mean, the Father's Day episode is somewhere up here, and the episode of the last week is somewhere here. And somewhere here is bad episode, okay? So just that you get me right. It's not a bad episode, it's just not what I was expecting. Yeah, and then there was the other scene where he was like kissing her hand and all of this stuff, and like in every scene he was like getting closer and closer to her, and every one of these little actions just made me even like angrier inside. That's for the reasoning why I didn't like the episode in a way that I would have really liked to like it. But there was also some good stuff, and I want to point that out too, because I think in my last review I was really focusing on the bad stuff, so I want to say something positive too. I really liked the story with the woman and the kids, and I really liked the mysterious ways in which the story like evolved, and all of the questions that were raised and that we don't have answers to them yet. We have to some of them, but the main reason why all of this is happening is not really known. Also, what I was thinking about, let's say all of this is really happening. I mean, this is a big thing, okay? Many people are involved in that thing, and many people are losing their souls. And wouldn't this be something, if this really continues to happen, that later, as the time goes on, people wouldn't stop talking about? They would write newspaper articles and cover it on the television. No, they didn't have television back then. I mean, if in our world, like 50 years ago or 100 years ago, a spaceship would have landed, we would know, right? So if in their world, where Rose is coming from, they don't know anything about that, does it mean that the Doctor will like kind of redo everything that we see in the episode so that in the end it never happened? I don't know. And I'm really looking forward to finding out. And the other positive thing was this mysterious way in which the people change when they change. We saw it when the Doctor started changing, and it was so terrifying seeing this person in one moment being like totally normal and talking normal stuff, and then his face was changing, his mimic was changing, and he started rambling about are you my mommy, are you my mommy, in a voice of a child. That was traumatizing seeing that, and that was made so good. And that's something I'm really into in this story. I hope we will get to see more of that, because I like this kind of stuff. And maybe this is exactly the reason why people did like this episode so much, because they like the kind of monster in the episode. This is the only thing I have thought about this so much. Why do people love this episode in that way? The only thing I can think of is this dark, mysterious stuff that happens to people, changes them, and makes them some kind of living zombie. I guess when I will upload the episode tomorrow, you will tell me why you do like the episode. So tomorrow I guess I'm gonna know. But for today, this is the only thing I can think about why you really like the episode. Because I really hope it's not the spaceship man. I hope he's not the reason that you do love this episode, because otherwise you will hate me, I guess. I was talking for so long now. I'm so sorry, but this one really got to me, and maybe you can see in the way that I'm expressing myself right now. And this really was something that I didn't like about me last week, and I'm sorry that it turned out like that. I hope it'll never happen again. I will do my very best, and I hope that you can feel that this means something for me, and I do want to be understood in the right way. And I hope that me talking about this a little bit more than I do usually gives you some kind of right feeling for how I felt in the last 3 days. But all this stuff aside, now I'm excited to find out how the second part is going to evolve. And I'm really excited to know what the Doctor will do against all of this. Maybe the Doctor and the Spaceship Man and Rose, they will work together in a team and they will do some kind of things, but I cannot think about what they could do, because are they going to kill all of those people? Is there any possibility? I mean, there has to be a possibility, otherwise there would be no episode, but I cannot really think about one right now. And also they have to get out of the situation that they are in. Because right now, the young girl is chased by her brother, and the other three are stuck in the hospital in a corner of a room, like surrounded by zombie people. So it doesn't look really good, and I cannot imagine how they will get out of there. So, without further ado, we are going to watch the second part. It's not a good situation that they are in. Not at all.
Go to your room.
Does this work? It really works. He's pretending to be her mommy and sending them back to the rooms. And it works. Who would have thought of that? I sure wouldn't.
I'm really glad that worked. Those would have been terrible last words.
I'll tell you what's happening. You forgot to set your alarm clock. It's volcano day.
What's that?
The all clear.
I wish.
The Doctor is angry again. And I mean, I can understand. Oh my gosh, kiddo.
Yeah, get it open.
Oh, this seems like a massive door.
Nothing. Sonic Blaster,
Never
51st
mind.
century. There's a banana grove there now. I like bananas. Bananas are good.
I like bananas too.
Anything else you'd like? I've got a whole house here. Anything else you'd like to help yourself to?
Yeah. I'd like some wire cutters, please. Something that can cut through barbed wire. Wire cutters, torch, food. And I'd like to use your bathroom before I leave, please. Oh, look. There's the sweat on your brow.
Oh, wow, I didn't expect that.
I sent
God.
it to its room. This is its room.
Are
Oops.
you my mummy? No! Mummy!
Nice switch.
Oh,
Groves of Villengard thought it was appropriate.
he did that.
It's really a banana, and you did that. That was a good.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Mummy!
And I guess the sending them to the room will not work to the second floor. There's a window behind you.
Doc, what you got?
Sonic, what? Screwdriver!
Or you could do that, yeah.
The wall.
Special features, they really drain the battery.
Special features.
Have I missed anything?
Yeah.
No. Yeah?
Jack just disappeared.
What? Oh, well, wait. Did he do that, or did something do that to him?
He always comes for us.
No. Ernie, he doesn't. He always comes after me.
Yeah.
You're in danger. Even right now, sitting here, you're in danger because of
She's
me.
right.
You're the one.
Jim is sitting there right next to you. So who's typing?
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Why is it always the great-looking ones who do that?
I'm making an effort not to be insulted.
I mean, men.
Okay, thanks. That really helped.
Rose, Doctor, can you hear me?
Remember this one, Rose?
Our song.
And how do you want to get there? I mean, there's literally no way somebody will see you.
Why don't you trust him?
Why do you?
Save my life.
Yeah, he saved
I
the
trust him
last
because
life.
he's like you. Except with dating and dancing.
You just assume I don't dance.
What, you telling me you do dance?
I want to
900
see
years
him
old,
dance.
Me, I've been around.
Oh, please,
Doesn't the
show me,
universe
please.
encode or-
Come on, please.
Rose, I'm trying to resonate concrete.
This
Jack,
is not
we
doing
can
anything.
get
Come on,
Come on.
let's dance.
The world.
Actually, I quit. Nobody takes my frock.
Oh no, I
Most
wanted to
people
sing
notice when they've been
dance.
You guys are so sweet. Sorry about the delay. Had to take
Yeah,
the
they
nav
are.
come off.
Oh no. I knew that this was going to happen.
Woke up one morning when I was still working for them. Found they'd stolen 2 years of my memories. I'd like them back. 2 years of my life. No idea what I did.
How did they do
Friend over there
that?
doesn't trust me. And for all I know, he's right not to.
Shouldn't have broken in here if you didn't want to stay.
You don't understand. Not with him.
This is a restricted area,
Oh no,
miss.
he's
Just sit
infected.
here.
You'll be all right next time.
That's a massive table.
Please, let me go. It's too late for you. I'm sorry, but please let me go.
Oh no. She has to like throw the table so she can like pull up the handcuffs. Or the doctor arrives
get
there in
past.
time. Well, you don't have to distract him anymore. Oh god, this is cruel.
The effect's becoming airborne. Accelerate.
Again.
Airborne.
Now there's hours left.
So what?
Till nothing. Forever for the entire human race.
Wind blows, the cradle will rock. The bow breaks, the cradle
Oh, she's
will
singing so he
fall
sleeps.
down.
That's actually quite intelligent. That's good that they are still reachable
See?
in some kind of way.
Justin.
Like when you act
It's hard
like
to
you are their
explain.
mother. When he switched the button, he like in some kind of way he called them. So now they're coming.
Yes, you do.
Nanogenes.
It wasn't empty, Captain. There was enough nanogenes in there to rebuild a species. When the ship crashes, the nanogenes escape. Billions upon billions of them. Ready to fix all the cuts and bruises in the whole world. But what they find first is a dead child. Life's easy. A quirk of matter. Nature's way of keeping meat fresh. Nothing to a nanogene. They're not like the ones on your ship. This lot have never seen a human being before. They do what they're programmed to do. They patch it up. Can't tell what's gas mask and what's skull, but they do their best. Then off they fly. Off they go. Work to be done. And they won't ever stop. They won't ever stop. The entire human race is going to be torn down and rebuilt in the form of one terrified child looking for its mother, and nothing in the world can stop it.
I didn't know.
Wow, that speech. Oh my god. That man is so impressive. That was great. Could have listened to this like hours and hours.
And now there's an army of them.
How do you stop that?
Good little soldiers, waiting for their commander.
Now, who's
The child.
commander? The child.
Maybe.
What?
Not the child.
Nancy, what age are you? 20? 21?
Why is that
Doctor?
important?
Teenage single mother in 1941.
I am my mummy.
He's gonna keep asking, Nancy. He's never gonna stop.
Mummy.
Tell him.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Is he back? The mask is not strapped on his face anymore. Oh, he's so cute.
Welcome back!
Okay, and that was
Doctor!
pretty close.
By the way, love the t-shirt.
You want moves, Rose? I'll give you moves. Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once!
Oh my god, look at how happy. He is so happy.
Jeans will clean up the mess and switch themselves off, as I just told them to. Nancy and Jamie will go to Dr. Constantine for help. Ditto. All in all things considered, fantastic.
Look at you beaming away like your Father Christmas.
And everybody lives, Rose. Everybody lives. I need more days like this.
This
Doctor.
is
Go on, ask me
great.
anything. I'm on fire!
At 90% cycle. Detonation in 3 minutes.
Can we
Oh.
jettison it? Okay.
I mean, I said I didn't like
Out
him,
of
but I don't
100.
want him to die.
Exactly how... Last time I was sentenced to death, I ordered 4 hyper vodkas for my breakfast. Woke up in bed with both my executioners. Lovely couple. They stayed in touch. Can't say that about most executioners.
Okay. Strange. Can't he use his device to, like, do something against that bomb?
Well, hurry up then.
Oh, they save him. They're dancing.
I can dance. I can dance.
Okay.
Actually,
Absolutely certain. But who is?
Oh, this is great. I like it. Oh, that's
And I was having
great.
so-
That's great. That's great. That was that episode. Like always, I didn't remember to write down anything. My paper is still blank like the last time and the last time and the last time, and every time that I try to do that, I guess writing down comments or stuff while I'm watching the episode is just not made for me. I'm just glued to the screen when I'm watching. I don't think about writing down anything. But I don't think that I do need that for this episode anyway, so this episode was great. It was entertaining. It was exciting. It was funny. It was sad. It had like all the emotions in one episode. It was so good, and I enjoyed like every minute of it. I must say that I went into this episode. I was excited before I watched it, but I was also afraid that I wouldn't like the second part, because I didn't like the first part that much. And I was afraid that maybe the second part wouldn't be that good for me either. But this episode was so good. From the start till the end, it had everything. It had the doctor smiling, the doctor being angry, the doctor giving a speech. Oh my god, that speech was so good and on point, and his expressions, his voice, I like everything about this actor. He is so good. And it had the mystery, and it also had the darkness of the first part, but in a lighter way. Maybe it felt lighter because we did like solve the problem in this episode. That could be why I felt that it felt lighter for me. There was still depressing theme in it, and there was still some kind of sadness in some parts of the episode, but the depression didn't get to me this time, and I could enjoy the episode. I really did. That was such a good episode. I am so glad that I have watched this like 3 days later. Otherwise, I would have thought about that first part that I did and worried all week. And I'm so glad that I have watched the second part right now, because I feel so much better. I feel like I'm back into the Doctor's game, into the show, and I can't wait to see the next episode. That was so good. Okay, enough praising for now. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the stuff that happened. Let's talk about the stuff that I did like. At the moment, I can't think of anything that I didn't like. Not even Jack. And I did remember the name. I did that on purpose, that when I heard his name, that I was focusing on remembering his name this time, because I wanted to stop calling him the guy or the man. He's Jack. As we have seen in the end, it seems like he is staying for longer. So, well, on the one hand, I am really happy that they saved him, because he didn't deserve death. He didn't. Even if I don't like him that much, but he doesn't deserve that. But now that they saved him, he has no spaceship anymore. He has no people anymore. He doesn't even know what he has done in the last 2 years, because they erased his memory. And I think he will be a new team member, maybe. And Rose really seems to like him. So I will have to adjust with Jack. And maybe in the future episode he's going to redeem himself for me. I mean, in this part already I did like him a little bit more. He wasn't the grabby guy anymore. Yeah, he made some comments and said some things that I didn't really like, but okay, let's give him that. If he's going to be the new member of the team, if he's going to stay longer than Adam, which wasn't very long at all, I think they will paint another picture of him. I think they will make him a more, at least I hope so, that they will make him a more charismatic character that you can actually like. And yeah, maybe this was just the first impression, and maybe he isn't that bad at all. I don't know. In my rating on the first episode, let's say 1 is really bad and 10 is Doctor level, Doctor and Rose level. He was like a 3 maybe, and now he's a 5 to 6. He already ascended to the next level. Because he saved the Doctor and Rose, and he saved them twice, because the first time he was like teleporting them out of the hospital. That was the first time. And the second time when he was like taking care of the bomb. And he saved Rose a third time in the first episode when she was falling down from the sky. So he saved her life 3 times now. I mean, how much does he have to do to redeem himself? In my eyes. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so enough about Jack. Let's talk about other stuff that I did like in this episode. The Doctor. This episode had so much focus on him and so many scenes that he was in and where he was saying something, doing something, and I love this actor. He's so good. And he's so good with many different emotions. When he is angry, I look at his face, I just have to see it for a second and I know that he's angry. You can see it in his eyes. When he is happy, he's smiling all over the place, and every time he smiles, I have to smile too. And while they were dancing in the end, I was smiling the whole time. It made me so happy. And we had so many scenes where he was joking in this episode, and this was lighting up the mood a little and building a contrast to the other stuff that was going on in the episode, the depressing stuff. And every time he made a joke, I was like laughing, and that was so good. And maybe this is what was missing in the first episode, that they were focusing so much on the depressing part that they forgot to like put some lighter scenes into the whole thing to just brighten the mood every now and then. Maybe that's something that was missing. And in the second part we had it all, like I said before. We had the sad, the happy, everything, and the Doctor was so great, this actor. And the speech that he gave, oh my god. When I finish this review, I have to go back and I have to rewatch the speech. It impressed me so much. And in the end, when he was like, I mean, all of what he was saying was so strong. When he is talking, he sounds so convincing and so self-confident. And he has some kind of expression in his face, his mimic. It's just great to see him acting. I love it. I really do. He is my favorite character in this show. And in the end of his speech, he teared up a little. That was so sad to see. I mean, this made me even sadder than when I watched Mother, the young girl, but she's not that young. We found that out when she was like hugging her dead son and he came back alive. That didn't make me as sad as the Doctor's teared up eyes. It felt so real. I don't know if I'm expressing myself in the right way so that you can understand what I mean. I'm trying to, but this is something that you cannot really describe. This is something that you see and feel. And this actor reaches this goal almost every single time that he has such a scene. And I love when he's funny, and I love when he's angry and when he's sad. I mean, I feel sorry for him when he's sad, of course, and when he's angry. But I love to see the different expressions on his face. That's so great. I really love this character and this actor. Yeah, and there is the other great character that we all love, Rose. She kind of had she was in almost every scene that the Doctor was in or that Jack was in, but she like had more of a background role this time. At least it felt like that. She was not doing anything exceptional or special or something like it. But I liked how she supported the Doctor with everything that he did want to do. And oh yeah, she did one thing when they were like surrounded by the, I call them zombie people in the hospital. She used a little thing to make a hole in the ground and then it fell through and survived. So she did something. I almost forgot. Yeah, but this episode was a Doctor's episode. And the story itself, now that it's concluded, I was trying to think about how someone could have thought of such a story. The story writers. If you have a science fiction or fantasy show, you have to think about stuff. You have to have fantasy and imagination and all this. But to think about a bomb, it's falling down on Earth. Inside there are those nanobots who usually heal people, but they find a dead body of a kid instead. If I got the right, I hope I didn't get that wrong. I have to rewatch that while editing, and there was happening so much stuff. But if I got this right, they found the body of the boy and transformed it into a not living, not dead kind of creature who runs around, has inner injuries all over. Oh, those inner injuries were the injuries of the bomb that was killing the boy in the first place, right? Am I putting this together in the right way? And then it took the DNA of the dead body and copied it onto all of the other living people that touched the boy or any other person that got contaminated. And in the end, it also went airborne so that you could get this just by breathing. How do you think of such a story? Wow. Wow, really. This is so crazy if you think about it. Kudos to all of the writers of this episode. Really, that's exceptional. That to imagine such a story. I do have a good imagination, at least my teachers in school told me, but I could have never thought of something like that. So this is great. And what I know now, after I have watched the second part, is that this story is supposed to be it's a two-parter, so all it does is being two stories that actually are one. But with the Alien episode, it felt more like you could have watched one episode in that week and then wait a little and then watch the second episode in the next week. But with this one, it really felt like you should have watched them one after another. The story was so close, I don't know how to express myself right now, but it didn't feel like you should watch it apart from each other. It felt like a movie, and to really judge each episode, you have to watch the whole thing to see how it concludes in the end. And maybe this is a mistake that I made last time. Maybe from now on, I hope that I will remember in the future, but I will try. Maybe if I watched the first part of a two-parter series, I shouldn't like judge the first part before I have seen the second one. Or maybe, I could say like, yeah, well, I did like it more or less, but not really, because, well, this is really difficult, because on the one hand, I feel like you should judge the episode as a whole, but on the other hand, the showrunners made 2 episodes, and then I feel like I have to judge the first and the second apart from each other, and then maybe judge them another time combined, because the whole thing, if you take both parts together, was really, really great. And maybe if I had seen both of them together, in the end of the second part, I wouldn't have rated the first part so low anymore, if you get what I mean. So I don't know. I will have to think about this, how I would want to proceed in the future. Maybe if you want to, you can write something down there in the comments what you think about, whether you would like it that I judge the first episode and then the second and then both of them together, or if you just want me to watch both parts and then talk about the whole thing. Yeah, I will have to decide that, but I will take in consideration also what you write down there in the comments if you do write something. Okay, so I guess I have said everything that I wanted to say. Again, I'm so happy that I have watched the second part. I am so happy. And the IMDb rating. But before we do that, there's only 3 episodes left to the finale, and I cannot wait to watch that. I can't. I'm so curious, and I'm so excited for it. Okay, but now right to the IMDb rating. Okay, so here we are. The Doctor Dances 9.2 rating, which doesn't help with what I was saying last week, that I don't really know if the episodes are like, wait a minute, I can see it from the Aliens episode. The Aliens episode was a 7.0 and 7.0. See, it's the same rating for both of the episodes, so maybe it is like that on IMDb, that both of the episodes get the same rating, and maybe people didn't like the first part that much, not as much as the second part. I don't know, but both of them have a really high rating. Wow. And the second part, oh my god, that was so good. And this is another funny thing. When I enjoyed an episode, I cannot wait to edit it. I cannot wait to re-watch it while editing. I cannot wait to see what I have said about the episode, because my short-term memory isn't that good. And when I record an episode today and I edit it in 3 or 4 days, I don't remember what I have said. And then it's a surprise for me too. And when I enjoyed an episode, I cannot wait to edit it and to re-watch the episode and my reaction to it, and that's so funny. And with the first one, it wasn't that way. It was more like I have to edit it somehow and re-watch it, and yeah, strange. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But it's something I cannot change. If I do like something, I do like something. And if I don't, I don't. So, I hope you have forgiven me for the last week. And I hope you have enjoyed the second episode as much as I did. That was great. That was really great. I really enjoyed it. Oh my god, and the dancing scene in the end, the doctor was like dancing. Oh my god. I hope I can like leave just a little bit of this part inside, because there was music playing in the background, and I don't know how YouTube will react to this. I will try to leave it in there. Maybe I have to change the music in the background. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe just a little tiny bit, because it was so good. And I was smiling like the whole episode. It was so great. Okay, enough with the brabbing. Episode was great. I really liked it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I hope we'll see each other again in the next week. And until then, have a nice week, nice weekend, nice day, nice night, nice evening, nice morning, nice everything. I love you guys, and until next time, bye.